You cannot be serious.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday show. I am Hammer, and I'm joined by my two favorite Wednesday show hosts, Genty Maxi.
Hello.
And Terry Diamantis.
Hello.
It is so weird. I'm telling you, was this 3 times now? Twice, 3 times? It is so weird to run the show through StreamYards.
Yeah.
And nothing does anything the way it's supposed to, man. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I clicked on Go Live. I clicked on Go Live. Yeah, further down, it comes like, says, are you sure you want to go live? I didn't see that. So I clicked on Go Live and nothing happened.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the shit? And then I clicked again and it said nothing. And then I clicked again and the little thing popped up again. And I was like, oh, I shouldn't be looking to the left where my YouTube layout is. I should keep looking to the StreamYard layout. So I clicked Go Live there and then everything was okay. But I can't wait to get back to OBS. This is...
Yeah.
I hate this.
Well, next week you will.
Yeah. Anyway, how you doing, Terry?
I'm all right. How are you?
I am well. Jen, how are you?
I'm very well.
Awesome. Before we get to the topics, let's go ahead and see who's in chat tonight.
Well, my job is easy. I've already said hi to everyone on Rumble.
Sorry, for just a second, my head decided now was a good time to yawn. I'm like, no, I'm awake, and I have a Coke. I don't have coffee, but that's fine. Hello, Hammer.
Hello.
Hi, Mike. Hi, Terry.
Hello.
Hi, Blue Eyed Scream. Hi, Jay Bliza. I know I saw other people, so I just gotta keep an eye on. Okay, there we go. Hi, dear. And we got Green. Hi, Green. And yes, that's it.
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
People will usually roll on by 9:30 time it rolls around.
I think Red Feather should join the chat so that we can have red, green, and blue.
Well, let's go over the topics tonight because I have a feeling we're going to lean into them. We'll see. Topics tonight. First topic is Alex. This is Alex.
I know this. Alex is the new character coming out in Street Fighter 6. He will be out in March, but they're doing a lot of promo work now. So if you're interested in a grappler, he will be coming out in Street Fighter 6 in a couple months.
However, the Alex I'm talking about is the ice shooting in Minnesota for Alex Pretti.
Yeah.
Now, his name is spelled Pretti.
Yes.
But I'm trying not to say pretty. I'm trying to say Pretti.
He feels pretty. They're so pretty.
Hopefully, I believe I've got that spelled correctly. It's not P-E-R, Peretti.
No,
which sounds more...
Yeah, no, it's Pretti. You had it right.
Okay, good. And I have a lot to say on that, but we'll see if we get to it. Ilhan Omar gets pranked with apple cider vinegar. I don't know if you guys seen that video yet.
I heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say about that too. Maybe not as much. And then finally, Deported. The Census Bureau has risen their evil head, but says something good. They reported 3 million illegal immigrants have left the United States. And they count that as negative net migration. In other words, more people are leaving than are coming.
Good.
Which shouldn't be too hard to figure out. So, yeah, that's good news.
Yes.
It's not happening fast enough for me, but it's happening, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah. Look, any progress is good progress. As long as you're moving in the right direction. Then
yeah. He's not going to get 3 million like Obama did, at least not in his first term. You know, from his first term to this term, he's not going to get, in those 8 years, he's not going to get 8 million or whatever it was. But Obama had 2 consecutive years, might have been a little easier for them. And he had the cooperation of all the Democrats who are now fighting Trump and all of the media. So it was much easier for him.
It's also kind of a general consensus, and it's not just in the US, it's kind of everywhere in the Western world. People aren't anti-immigration. We're anti this exploitation thing that's been going on for far too long.
I am. I'm anti-immigration. No, get out of my country.
Yeah.
Well, I'm tired of the illegal shit. I'm tired of the exploitation shit, and we honestly can't afford to do this shit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And people are just stretched too fucking thin, and it's not hatred towards the people. Well, some people are, because in all honesty, when you're burying so much, it's really hard not to hate people. But like, I understand some people might be innocent in between a lot of this shit. But no, I'm tired of the fraud. I'm tired of the it's okay to keep exploiting people's shit. I'm tired of the reverse racism, because it's still racism. Mm-hmm. It's not okay to keep doing this stuff just simply because the countries you're doing it to happen to be majority white.
Actually, it is, because whites are the only race stupid enough to accept it.
Well, yeah.
Try and do it in Africa. Try and do it in Asia. That's just it's never going to work. Whites are the only race stupid enough to be like, oh, why don't we just invite the entire world into our borders for no reason?
Well, I don't know about Australia as far as how they feel in general, how the masses feel. I'm sure you have people on both sides, but Europe, Canada, and America have all gone to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
But the only deal here is America is the only one doing anything about it.
Yeah, because our governments are bullshit.
It's basically that. Like at this point, Canada is tearing itself apart. Like my province is about ready to ditch. You know, like we are itching to ditch.
Yeah, I heard about that.
You're always itching it. Isn't your province always looking for a way to get the fuck out?
It's a contest between us and Quebec. It's just it's a long legal process. You know, it is. It's not an overnight thing, you know?
Well, to answer Hammer's question, I think there's a reason that One Nation has overtaken the Liberal Party as the second most popular political party in Australia. So there's obviously rising sentiment of get the fuck out.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff has also been I'm gonna spell it out. We've been doing it groundhog style, because every time we try to express issues with our government, we get treated like far right quacks for it. And you can only handle being called names like Nazi when you're talking about economics and trying to build on your own economics so that you can support yourself and your family members. And they're calling you a Nazi in every other sentence over every fucking topic. So at a certain point, people have been doing this in a groundhog sort of way where, we've been building up signatures, because the threat of having somebody shut down your bank account as though that doesn't destroy your whole fucking life.
That was fucked up. Yeah.
That's why it's hard to do this stuff. Like, the minute you start seeing the numbers that we have, that's why we're being a little bit more open about this stuff, because it's getting a little bit more real every fucking day. And like, I'm going to sign up for it when I get a chance to, because I want to be on board if we make that move. Because if we make that move, there's still going to be an economic downturn, because that means we're going to have to rearrange how we do things, which means spending money. You know, if you need to do new federal cops, you need to do new federal cops. If you need to do new military, you need to do new military. We still have our own treaties with the US that are Alberta treaties.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's all stuff that we still have to abide by, even if we make this move. So that's so much legal conversation with people when you're talking about economics. And even with all of that on the board, we have so many people showing up and being like, I want to get out of this partnership, because these people are evil and they don't care about anybody. Even the people that they're bringing in, I don't think they care about these people at all. And they're destroying the lives of everybody who are currently here, and they're not helping the people that they think that they're helping. And
I'm gonna be an arrogant American and say that it seems more and more people are taking Trump's perspective. More and more governments are taking Trump's perspective on illegal immigration. If you look at the AfD in Germany, if you look at reform in Europe, I mean, I don't know exactly what your parties are doing, if they're shuffling around using immigration as a way to get into power, but they should be, because it's a big topic.
Well, I think people are starting to see the negative effects of all the mass immigration, and that's a big part of why the populations are turning against. But the governments are just saying, fuck you, we don't care what you think, and importing them by the boatload anyway.
Well, that's not going to be true in Europe. Well, I probably shouldn't say that. Reform has promised they will end migration, but the conservatives did that too, and they didn't do it. They promised, but they never did it. The AfD, however, in Germany, yeah, they made Trump look like a Girl Scout.
I think you need to be that tough. You need to be like, get the fuck out. This isn't a Holiday Inn. You don't get to stay here. No. You have your own country. Go back there. Do what you want.
Is your government doing anything, or are they just allowing everybody in?
We're importing them by the boatload. Much to the complaint of all the people. That's why One Nation is surging in the polls, because the people don't want them here, but the governments are like, hey, it keeps wages down. The people that get imported are going to be indebted to us. Like, they're going to be like free votes. So yeah, they're not seeing any reason not to ship them in. But I don't think the native population is terribly happy.
Well, we'll see how it shakes out. Hopefully, countries that are being swamped by immigration are able to dig themselves out. I don't know if the U.S. can do it. Trump's going to be out of office in 3 years. Unless Vance gets in, this is all going to be for nothing. Immediately, they're going to open the borders and everyone's going to flood in again.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
The one thing that isn't working in the favor of the Dems, though, is their activist protesters. Like, as much as they want to look at these outliers as though that's going to fear the population, I know enough people in the U.S. to know that you guys take your police force actually really quite seriously.
Oh yeah.
And it's not that you don't have outliers where you're like, yeah, that was fucked up, they shouldn't have done that, or they really, really need to rework how they go about doing that. Yes, you do think that your cops need to be held to a high standard. That doesn't mean that you can't see the amount of damage that these people are doing to regular, ordinary people and business owners in such a way where this is just flat out terrorism. And this isn't the first time. It's basically pick the Democratic City of the Year when they don't get their way. Every single time.
Yeah, and I agree with Frosted in chat. He says the longer countries try to keep the pendulum from swinging back to the right, the further it will swing. They're basically asking for extremists to take power someday. Absolutely, yeah. That's definitely going to happen. It's just, a matter of waiting until things get to that point. But yeah, he's definitely right.
Well, that's kind of what happened with us. You had Democrats for 4 years just allowing everybody in, and people said, "We're tired of this. Well, we'll go with the villain if we have to get rid of this." So, and that's what we did.
I mean, I'd vote for the equivalent of I don't know the guy's name, but whoever's in charge of the AfD, he's like, get the fuck out of Germany. But Australia,
I thought it was a girl that was in charge of the AfD.
Oh, maybe it is. I don't know. But like whoever it is, I would support the Australian equivalent of that. And I think Pauline Hanson is probably the closest because she's she's like leader of the One Nation Party. It kind of has it in the name. So yeah, that's who I'll be voting for. But you
guys really need to get rid of that American who's doing all your censorship on social media. That's what you need to get rid of.
Yes, we do. Yeah, Julie Inman Grant, the e-safety commissioner.
Right, the e-safety commissioner. She needs to go.
She does.
I'm going to apologize, man. We don't normally export assholes like that to other places.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got to go somewhere, and we got stuck with her.
Yeah.
But I mean,
can you vote her out, or do you have any?
Nope. There is no way for us to do that. No, I think if like we vote for one nation, Pauline would probably like we don't need this position and dismantle it, but we don't have a vote like per se to vote that specific position.
Gotcha. So if the government were to change, the new government can kind of get rid of her.
Yeah, I don't know what process would need to be taken to get rid of her, but obviously, if the Prime Minister wanted to, there would be some means by which they could remove the position, but the Australian public does not get to vote for it. Not at all.
What Americans usually do is they create a new position and move her into it, and the position has no power.
I mean, that would work. I'd be happy with that.
I've always kind of thought that was one of the problems that we had as Commonwealth, was not breaking it off more clearly with the UK. And I'm not saying that to be anti-ally, because I'll always stand by the ally thing. But at no point should we have been sharing politicians. Like the one of the things that I hate the most about Carney is he really isn't loyal to anybody. He can go back to the UK. He could go to Australia. He could move all his assets to the US. And he's all like, well, I was born in the Northwest Territories and I did some school in Alberta. And so I'm a full no, you've spent half of your life in the UK. Most of your business affairs are in the US. And he's not our countryman anymore. Like at a certain point you realize that you've stretched yourself to so many places that like, where are your actual interests? And that's what a lot of places are actually really tired of, is the lack of interest in ourselves. Like, I love Australia. I hope Australia does really well, but I think that you should be run by somebody from your fucking country.
That sounds like an awful lot like America First.
You know, like,
you know, what we do is America First. That's Trump's big line. It sounds to me like you're Canada First, and that is reasonable.
It's all it is. Like, and it's not even a color thing. It really is. Like, if you've been in my country for 150 years, like that's your generation, then yeah, you're a Canadian. You obviously have been through all the bullshit everybody else has been through. But that's the thing. I want you to actually understand all the things that we built, all the things that we lost, all of the things that we have to gain by being our own countrymen. And then after we've really built that, then yes, we can go back to talking about how we give back to all our neighbors and the people that we care about, because it's not saying we don't care about the rest of the world. Of course we do. But we are not building a good world for our kids. And that's going to be bad for the whole fucking world. And I'm not saying that as a narcissist, because I am talking about separate countries doing something for themselves.
But that's a good thing. You should always be looking out for your own people first.
Yes.
That's Trump's America First policy right there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Terry.
I mean, I don't even think foreign aid should be a thing. Like, if an individual wants to donate to Somalia, let them. But I don't think the Australian government should be like, you know what? Have some free money. We like you. No, we don't. Keep the money for us.
and that's how it used to be. Like, I don't think government entities should be involved with charities.
No.
And this idea that
the government should be involved.
Like it's kind of like we know what regular charities do, and like some of them are good and some of them are just money laundering pieces of shit who don't help anybody. So most of them. And you know, so the idea that I want the government involved in that shit, no, you guys are already too used to money laundering, all right? So no.
Yeah. I think there's very few things the government should actually be in charge of, like the military, the police, the courts, you know, things like that. It makes sense that the government takes care of those. I don't think they should be in healthcare. I don't think they should be in education. There's all sorts of things that they're messing about with that they don't need to be involved with. Just the stability of the country is basically it. There's like defend the borders, uphold the laws, and that's basically it. This is like very, very light touch government, I think, is for the best.
Well, I think the U.S. does the most foreign aid, I asked Grok, I said, give me a list. And scrolling down, it says United States around 63 billion, largest single donor, 30% total, whatever. Germany, 35 billion, so about half. Japan, typically in the top 5. United Kingdom, frequently in the top 5. France, also consistently top tier. Other notable high donors include Canada, Sweden, Norway, Netherlands, European Union institutions as a conglomerate. Yeah, the U.S. is number 1 at 65 billion this year, 2025 or last year. Followed by Germany, Japan, UK, and France in that order.
Yeah, that's a lot of money that could have been spent on American interests.
You know, that's a lot of people you can put in, a lot of veterans you can put in the house.
Yeah.
You know, that's
or even just that 65 billion of taxes that you could have not charged. and let people keep their own money.
To be honest with you, of all the things that the government does that I hate, the only thing I would let them do voluntarily and support would be taking care of our vets.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think if you serve the country should serve you.
Yep. Now, does that mean they get a luxury yacht? No.
No.
You get a modest house, a beater car, you know, help to get a job, get you back on your feet.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think if you give your life serving your give your life like your youth, I suppose. If you serve your country, the country should be indebted to you, and I think you should be rewarded for that.
Yep.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
What about you, Jen? Do you think it's a good use of money to get your vets off the streets?
Absolutely. They're yeah, just citizens off the street, like absolutely vets, because I think they already signed up for that. Like if you signed up with the agreement that, you know, you're putting your life on the line to protect our nation, and regardless of how the left feels about how your military has been used, those men signed up with that in mind. And yeah, it was to support their families and stuff. They still made an agreement. So if, you know, they're deserving of care, then that's part of an agreement. I agree with that. Like it's actually shameful to not do that. That's why I hate the whole system. It's like, well, okay, so these guys signed up for it, they agreed to it, and we made a promise to them, and now we're stabbing them in the back. That I don't, so I agree with you. You should absolutely be making sure that they're taken care of, especially their mental health, so that they can get back onto their feet. Because the minute you get somebody back on their feet, they become a part of society.
I think the goal should be to make them not need the government assistance anymore. But I do think that, like, obviously going to war is extremely traumatizing. So I don't have a problem with the government providing, like,
if somebody needs the full-time help, they need the full-time help. Like I think that's kind of how it is with military. Like there's some people who lose half their face. If they need help they probably do.
If you get PTSD because you're in the war, I don't really have a problem with the government being on the hook for paying for the, you know, necessary treatments and care that comes with that, because they're the ones who gave it to you. Like,
I just like the idea of giving people a job. It's not about forcing people to pay their own thing. It's actually more of the mental health that a job can bring a person. Like, little things that I think I don't even know. Like some of them might know better what they actually need. It's just, you know,
I won't pretend to know exactly what a PTSD suffering war veteran would require, but you know, whatever it is that they need in terms of, you know, care. I don't have a problem with the government being on the hook to supply it, because, you know, the damage was done in service of the government or the country or whatever. So, yeah, the government can cover that damage. But, yeah, I think that comes under the government funding the military, in my mind. I think that's fair.
Well, for us, entering the military is not seen as particularly rewarding or upward mobile, because you go in as an E1 and you make $2,407 a month. Yeah, that's not a big number.
Yeah, I think
I had military training before I was given the opportunity to join the military. I would have went in as an E5, which is reasonable. It's 3,500 to 4,500. That's
I
a
think
livable.
the government should be incentive. Like if the government wants people to enlist, then they should make people want to enlist. And if that means offering them more money, then that's what they should do. I think. If you're going to have a problem with insufficient soldiers, then you need to make people want to become soldiers, and money is a pretty good temptation for getting people.
I have a soft spot. I have a soft spot for veterans. My dad was a veteran, and I came within a hair's breadth of joining the military. So,
I do too, but it's not because of a personal thing. Like my attachment to military has to do with my grandfather losing his brother in World War II. It really did affect him. Like it affected my dad, it affected my aunt, all because of how much it hurt my grandfather to lose his brother. And so out of respect to my grandfather, I've always been really respectful to any vet, and it doesn't matter what war they went to. They're all respected with that red poppy, all the same in my mind. But I don't respect my government because they've torn our military down so much, you know, and I can't stand it. Like, yeah, they did more in the 80s for them. Like they, you know, even just bringing them to the school so they could talk to the kids was so much better for those people, you know, because, you know, they were grandfathers at that point. I'm talking about old World War II and I vets. I think most of them are pretty much gone at this point, but probably. I still remember those men, you know, and with all respect, the idea that they fought so hard, they would be rolling in their graves. And that's why I hate the side of Ottawa that treats our military that way, is knowing that they did that to those men, and then they have the fucking gall to call us Nazis. I'm like, you trash all over the people who died fighting those people.
There was never any chance of me joining the military, but I do have a respect for anyone who's willing to. I mean, that's a hell of a sacrifice you're making for your country. I respect it.
There's still a couple of military places that my dad used to take me because if you really like camping, old military gear can sometimes be useful. Sometimes it's crap. A lot of times it's crap. But some of the old military places would just have like some of the oldest equipment you could find. Like I think they donated some of those to the museums because they were old enough that they qualified. But it was just neat to go in and find stuff and realize that like that was stuff that barely saved the life of a man, because World War I and II had shit equipment.
Compared to what we have now, you're right.
You must always remember that women are in fact the primary victims of war because they lose their husbands, their brothers, their fathers. It's truly the women who are the ones suffering in war.
Nah.
Actually, if you are technical about that, they're kind of right, because when you're dead, you don't suffer.
Well, I suppose, but I think the men dying in war are probably the primary victims of war, not the women who lose their family members.
Yeah, victims. Yeah.
It's one of those things that I don't think the war vet moms take that nearly as lightly. I like, you know, the women have shades just like men. Some of them are psychos, some of them are sociopaths, some of them are narcissists, and some of them are actually people who actually love their husbands and things like that.
I was waiting for, and some I assume are good people.
Yes. Because I know some who are absolutely very lovely people and they love their husbands. And
there's very fine people on both sides.
And they hate the trashy women just the same as the men do. I just, it's one of those things where you know enough about history to know that no, actually our military treats the women pretty well. They do take care of the kids. You know, it's not like the Roman times where, well, actually, if your husband died, well, you're a street person now. Have fun with that.
Too bad, so sad, right?
Yeah. So I just don't. Yeah, I don't take much that a feminist has to say about that one. But no, I acknowledge that there are some trash women too, because if you don't, that's why we have a problem. Yeah. That's why we have women who pick up a flashbang off the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, dear Lord.
Superhero, you know. I'm going to teach your kids, you know.
Who does that? Well, obviously she did, but who with any brains reaches down to something that's going to blow up? I mean,
I wouldn't even pick up a sparkler. Like,
yeah.
You know, you might be fine, but those things get hot at the very end. And no, it might not blow my hand off, but like, seriously, anything that has the capacity to kind of explode a little bit.
Yeah, stay away.
I mean, those things get red hot. They'll melt skin. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you grab them by the wrong end.
Yeah, especially. But why not just kick it?
That would make more sense.
Even if it goes off, it's not going to really hurt your foot because you got a shoe on. Hopefully. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to start the music bowl.
Excellent.
These are the songs for tonight. Last week when I played the music for the show, we had no problems at all, even till today. Usually, sometimes it doesn't hit right away, but I checked it today before I ran up this stream, and I checked last week's stream, and there was nothing there. Public, everything's fine.
It was funny. It was like as soon as you put up the poll, it immediately went to a 25% each way tie. It's broken. It's broken now, but like for the 2 seconds after you put up the poll, it was like each answer had 25% of the vote.
That's funny.
Yes. And Frosted says the music poll makes him sad.
Why? It's because there's no music on there that you recognize or like?
Probably doesn't like any of it.
Well, you can't always have a song that you like. I got to make
other
people
happy. You can't
happy.
always get what you want. If you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need.
So, I mean, I'm just randomly picking songs that happen to be on my hard drive that somebody put on there, and I have no idea how that happened. So I'm not surprised by the results, though.
And Silver Ravenwing is surprised that Little Bow Wow is on the poll.
I do have some pretty kooky songs. I think the intro for Scribe that he does every time he comes out with a new TED Talk video.
Yeah.
I think that's on my hard drive somewhere.
Probably.
I wanted to hear what it sounded like, you know, on a nice mixer and a nice set of headphones to see if it sounded better than YouTube. It did.
For a while I did that. Like any YouTuber that had like intro music, I would find out what the intro music was and listen to the full version of it. Sometimes there's like some really good stuff.
Yeah. The big thing for me lately has been listening to what's her name, Carolyn Levitt.
Oh yeah,
the speaker. What's her official title?
Like press secretary.
White House. Yeah, White House press secretary. Yeah. For some reason, they can't get their act together, and her voice only comes out of my left speaker. So, and there's a lot of paper shuffling and chairs moving and all that kind of stuff, and it gets to be a little difficult to hear.
Yeah.
So what I've been doing lately is downloading her entire thing, and then bringing it into DaVinci Resolve. Resolve has a lot of really cool tools, and one of them is I don't want to hear anything but voices. It uses AI, and it's really good. And then you can volume normalize it, so when somebody in the press room says something that's in the back and you can barely hear it, Resolve says, no, you can hear it just fine. It ramps that person up so they sound almost as loud as she does. And then you can also say anything that's coming out the left channel, I want you to come out the right channel too. So it makes it mono. And then once I've gotten everything, then I play it. Makes things a lot more enjoyable to listen to. Not like listening to a White House press secretary is anything great, but
no.
I just like that there's those tools out there now, and they're easy to use. But she does a press thing every, 3 days?
Yeah, I mean, I don't listen to them. It's not my country, so I've got less incentive to listen to them. But
Well, a certain amount of it is just, advertisement. And Trump is doing this, and Trump is so great about that, and Trump has all these numbers, and Trump. There's a certain amount of that. But when she gets to the questions, and you get people who are not necessarily friendly with her,
Yes.
like CNN and AP and stuff like that, it's funny to see how she handles it, because usually she just smacks the shit out of them.
She does.
And that is enjoyable to watch her say. And you people gave the other president a break, and now there's stuff here, and you want to talk about that bullshit? It's like, geez, Caroline, relax.
Yeah, I do like that. I do. Whenever I see clips on Twitter, it's always good.
Yeah. Well, while the poll's running, it's past half the hour. I wanted to at least touch on Alex Preddy in a little bit more depth, because
I'm gonna let you start because I have to go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay. Yeah,
I'll be right back.
I don't think many people understand the timeline of it, and a lot of people I see on Twitter. I had an argument. I was in dialysis today for 4 hours, and all 4 hours I was arguing with people on Twitter.
That sounds like you.
People who just did not know. Most of them were saying, "Well, I saw the video," and I said, "Yeah, so you have half the story. Did you listen to the video?"
Why would I do that?
Yeah, because that part gives you a lot more context of what happened. So the order of events, this all started with an ICE officer commander telling a plebe to keep the road open, because when they want to leave, they don't want protesters in front of the cars.
Right.
So that's what he does. He runs across mystery woman number 1 and Alex Preddy. And he tells the woman to leave. He notices Alex and moves toward him. She comes up from behind. I don't know if she spit on him or if she pushed him or she just snuck up on him and he didn't like it. But he turns around and pushes her into the curb. And she's got a pretty heavy coat on. And her heel hits the snowbank and she falls backward onto the snow. Oh my God, she fell in the snow. Oh my God. Anyway, Alex Preddy, being a nurse and somewhat sympathetic, walks over to help her out. That's right. That is his first mistake. That's his first mistake. Besides being in the middle of the road.
Don't help women. Don't help women.
That's one. That's one. She's a strong, independent woman. She doesn't need no white knight. She doesn't need no male to help her. She can get it by herself. How dare you think of her as a child? But the second part is that he has now inserted himself between her and the agent. That is called interference, and it's against the law.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, before I go much further, this doesn't really have a bearing on the circumstances, but keep in mind that they have painted him as some innocent guy. And
he's already not.
He's already not, but he did not bring his identification with him, nor his CCW permit.
Oh, dear.
So he's also breaking those 2 laws. The officer reaches down and grabs Preddy and pulls him back. Preddy grabs the woman and pulls her with him. Because of the extra weight, the agent can't pull him as far as he wants. And Preddy and the agent face off because the agent's now going to detain him. He broke the law. He's going to detain him. Preddy starts fighting him. Get your hands off me, that kind of stuff. The other officers see this happen and start filing over. In short order, it becomes a 7-on-1. Now, let me ask you, Jen's at the bathroom, let me ask you, if it's 7-on-1, do you have any chance of winning that?
No.
Yeah.
Like even if it's like 7 weak people against 1, it's still not good odds. It's like 7-on-1 is a huge advantage. So if these are like police officers who are generally, big because there's like physical requirements to be a police officer in the first place. 7 police officers? Fuck no, you got no chance.
Yet don't succeed in subduing him. How can that be possible? He must be resisting. Guess what? Resisting is another crime. So he's created 2 crimes before he's gotten there, and created 2 crimes since he's been there.
He's a genius.
He's a genius. He, on top of this, because he didn't bring his CCW, he brought his weapon anyway.
Again, smart.
More stupidity. Yeah, smart. And he continues to fight the officers with a weapon. An officer sees it. He reaches down and pulls the weapon out. And here's the mistake that the agent made. He warns nobody that the weapon has been secured. Somewhere in that, I didn't get the timing down right, but somewhere in there, someone yells, "Gun!" Now all of the agents are aware, but of course they can't see anything because all of them are on their knees trying to keep this guy on the ground.
Yes.
No one's standing up just saying, "Oh, I think I'll just sit here and watch what's going on." Nobody's doing that.
Right.
They're all trying to subdue this guy because it takes 7 people. The agent who takes the weapon goes around the other officers and heads away from the fight. At that point, if you lock up the audio, because the video that everyone shows you of him running around is from distance, you can't hear anything. I think it's the audio is not there, or it's very low.
Right.
But if you sync that up with other audio, time-wise, when he rounds them and starts to run away, that's the first shot. And if you look at the weapon, which is visible at that point, it changes posture. Some people say they can see a muzzle flash. After watching it over and over and over again, to me, it looks like there was a muzzle flash, but I can't tell. But it does change direction, like there was a round fired.
Okay.
And supposedly, people say they can see a chip in the asphalt fly up. What people can say, what people see, all that. But for me, you can definitely see the weapon change position at the exact time. Now, keep in mind that both of these weapons, the weapons that the agents can use or are using, is the Glock 19. The weapon that Alex Peretti is using is a Sig Sauer P320. Of all the Sig Sauer weapons, the P320 has got a problem. The P320 can fire by itself if the right circumstances exist. There's
that
2
sounds like a rather big problem.
Yeah, it is a big problem. Sig Sauer keeps complaining, saying that they fixed it. In any case, there's 2 videos out there. One is a video from a company whose job it is to determine whether a weapon is really safe. The way you test if a weapon is really safe by government standards is you drop it on its side. If it doesn't go off, that's +1. Okay. If you drop it on the muzzle where the bullet comes out and it doesn't go off, those 2 things say it's now safe.
Okay.
What this group did was they dropped it on the hammer.
They dropped it on you? What are you doing in
there? Yeah. And when they did, 15% of the time it went off.
Oh dear.
The other video is a guy who has a 320. He loads it, puts a magazine on, makes sure that the hammer is forward, manipulates the slide, which is where the bullet comes out of. Mm-hmm. It's how you cock the gun.
Yeah.
Manipulates the slide, and the weapon goes off, not touching the trigger.
Trigger.
Then he does it again, and it goes off again.
Oh shit!
Twice in a row. And I only picked the video up. He said that's number 3, which means he's done this twice before. I don't have the video. It just picks up at number 3. So from what I gather from that statement, he's done it 4 times simultaneously, or one after another, sequentially.
Yeah, consecutively, yeah.
Consecutively, yeah. So, yeah, there's some question about whether the 320 will fire on its own. And like I said, the officer running away didn't have his hand on the trigger, but there is a sound. Not only that, they both fire 9mm, but the Sig Sauer and the Glock 19 don't have the same bore axis, AXIS. When you pull the trigger, they sound differently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not a lot because it's really how the slide works against the round being fired, not the sound of the weapon, of the bullet itself.
Right.
Because 9mm really come in two versions, a subsonic and supersonic. But that's as much as I know about bullets. In any case, when you fire the P320, it has more of a thud. Glocks sound more quote unquote crisp. Anybody who is an officer more than likely knows the difference in the two sounds. So if the P320 goes off, they recognize it as that's not a Glock.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's got to be the weapon that Alex Brady had because no one else is anywhere near us. Knowing that a round has already been fired and could have killed any one of those guys,
true.
The response is, we're in danger, bang, bang, bang.
Understandable.
And
I mean, if it is just a misfire that got him killed, that's unfortunate, but I don't think the police did anything wrong in reacting the way they did.
The other thing that the left hasn't been showing is images of what Alex was like in prior encounters with police officers before this event, and I think some of the in a lot of those images, he's just flinging his weapon around. Like you see images of like he's constantly holding something like a weapon, and he's being very aggressive with it every time you stop and show the picture. Like it's one of those things where like I don't know guns either. Like that's why I was happy to let Hammer talk, because I know them from video games and that's it. You know, but if I saw somebody just waving a gun around, I would think they were a jackass. Like I have enough people who handle guns that I know were like, no, you don't just do that. Like,
see, I know the single most important thing about guns, which is don't aim them at yourself.
Yeah. Or other people.
The basics. Green Badger. I stand corrected. I've heard it been called a striker before. You obviously know a lot more about guns than I do. But and the left, of course, is spinning this in a lot of ways. They say he was shot while he was on his knees. Well, that actually works to my favor. Why the fuck was he on his knees? Why wasn't he laying down with his hands behind his back? That's how stupid the left is.
Yeah.
They're making my case for me.
It's, did you see they've been trying to make him look more attractive in all the media?
Yeah. They're AI editing his picture so that he looks better.
Yeah.
They give him a tan, they fix his teeth, they change his eyebrow.
Give him a stronger jawline.
Right.
All sorts of things to make him actually look somewhat handsome so that the left will support him.
Yeah. So the only thing that I can see as far as the government make a mistake, not the agents, but the government, is Kristi Noem and her big mouth. It happened in like within an hour. She's like, he's a terrorist.
Oh God.
All right. That might be a little premature. You know, it's usually guys who are premature. In this case, I think it was her with her mouth saying he wasn't a terrorist. He might have been an aggressive protester, but I don't think he's a protester or a terrorist. So, or an assassin was the other term. What was his name? Michael Miller, whatever his name is. He called him an assassin. He's not an assassin. He didn't go looking to kill a person.
No. An assassin is an absurd way to describe it.
Yeah. So their big mouths didn't help anything. At least Kash Patel shut up this time.
Well, that's something.
Yeah. And amazingly of all, so did President Trump. He didn't say a fucking word. He just said it was an unfortunate accident.
Well, I think that's probably the best thing to go with. I mean,
concerning everything, that's the right thing. So, can you believe it? Trump got it right.
Yeah. No, I mean, if it was a gun misfiring, then that's incredibly unfortunate given the circumstances under which it misfired. But that's a tragic accident. That's not an execution or an assassination. That's preposterous.
I'm not known for empathy. No surprise. But it is sad to me that there were so many opportunities for this not to happen. If that guy wasn't given orders to clear the street, if he didn't push her and knock her over, if Prey didn't grab his shirt, if men didn't tackle, if the gun didn't go off, all of these things led up. The agent never said that the weapon was secured. All of these things, any one of those things could have stopped it, and they didn't. That's sad.
This is the kind of thing that makes you start believing in fate. Is like when all of this conspires to make a single event happen, maybe there's something to it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think he wanted to die.
No, but like the universe wanted this to happen, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like everything that needed to happen to make it happen did. And it's like, well, it's like, holy shit.
I think he wanted to be a hero.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
If that guy ends up dying and being reborn in an isekai, I hope it's super gay. I hope he gets.
I mean, he probably hopes that too.
Yeah.
Not that
I'm being nice.
Being gay. Yeah, that's okay.
No. I'm being nice.
There's wrong with that.
No. I honestly think a lot of this still lies at the feet of, and I'm sorry, I'm going to call it out, Tim Waltz and Mr. Freight. Like they keep hyping up people to the point where they think they're like. They think they're now citizen missionaries going after.
Yeah, I mean, Tim Waltz wants to direct attention away from the fact that he just got caught defrauding everyone.
Up to $1 billion, or was it over $1 billion, or was it up to $1 billion? 980.
I don't know. There's a lot of money, and he wants attention to be quietly directed away from that fact. It's like, you know what will do that? Some riots.
Yeah, and this actually saying that the agent clearing the roadway was a start, even that's not really true. It was Waltz and his big mouth telling people to go out there and beat up on agents, you know, throw things at them, kick their cars, run into them with your vehicle, whistles, all that kind of stuff. That was his idea.
Yep.
And Frey isn't much better than Mayor.
Like they're amping it up, and then at the same time, everyone keeps pointing out that if they would just let the cops assist them with targeting the people that they're going after, it would be a lot easier for them to get this done. And then knowing that Facebook has full-out apps of reporters basically helping to direct people to go and do that. No, all that shit needs to be shut down. It does. I'm sorry. Like if anyone on the right was going around and targeting leftist leaders or whatever bullshit that they think that we do, the outrage would never stop. It never stops with them because they always pick one new outrage, and that's the new outrage. And 2 weeks ago, it was like, oh, no, you can't hurt somebody by just tapping them with a car. And then, I brought up Charlottesville several times because they still cry about Charlottesville. And no, I don't think the lady should have been hit by the car. But at the time, I was like, well, you guys are all surrounding this guy and, freaking him out. What's he supposed to do?
I think it was funny. The left was saying you can't get hurt by a car moving that slow. And, a stuntman is like, hey, I broke several bones getting hit by a slow-moving car, so maybe, you don't know what you're talking about.
Anybody who doesn't know anything about cars would say that. If the car was not moving and you walked up and hit your shin on a chrome bumper, that shit hurts.
Yeah. Like the amount of times I've hit myself on just the mirror, and you're like, shit, my elbow. You're like, fuck it. It's a big metal fucking thing.
Well, my car's made out of plastic, but so I don't have to worry so much. But my parents had a Bronco, so that's almost the same. Well, not almost the same thing, but it's similar to a Honda Pilot, which is what the car was. And that car is 4,500 pounds. Yeah. And she stomped that gas pedal hard enough to make a 4,500 pound SUV spin its tires. What are you going to do if you're in front of that car? And she put him in front of the car. I created a video that clearly shows it. There's a video that shows her from behind, and there's a video that shows Ross's cell phone video from the front. And you can clearly see her wheels are turned to the left. She puts the car in reverse to get the officers off of her window. Also illegal. Backs up. And as she backs up, anybody who has driven a car knows that if the wheels are turned to the left and you go in the reverse, the front of the vehicle goes to the right.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't even have a car, and I know that.
That puts you right in front of her, or it puts him right in front of her.
Yeah.
His video pops up, and she's looking directly at him. Then she puts the vehicle in park because her wife, that's so weird to say, her wife.
Yeah, I know.
Tells her to drive, baby, drive. So she puts it in park and floors the gas, the tires spin, and she heads right at him. Now, do I think she meant to hit him? No. I think she was a woman driver.
That's almost worse.
She just didn't realize that the front wheels hadn't turned all the way to the right yet when she was busy changing gears. You can Ross can hear the ka-thunk sound of the gearbox changing gears. He knows it's in drive. He can hear the tire spinning. He knows she's pressing on the gas, and he knows that the wheels have not turned all the way to the right to avoid him. She's going to shoot. I would shoot. Anybody realistically looking at that scenario, even people who are anti-2A, they don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to get run over by a 4,500-pound Honda Pilot SUV. I love saying that phrase over and over again. I don't want to say car or SUV. I want the whole name because it gives you the extra oomph of how big this fucking car was. I'd shoot more than 3 times. They're taught, Leos are taught, and at least in America, that you shoot until the threat is eliminated. That threat does not have to be solely to you. That threat is to you, other officers, pedestrians, anybody who could be hurt by an out-of-control SUV. So the fact that he only spent 3, and then they complain about his training. The man hit a moving target 3 bullets out of 3 bullets. Tell me he's not trained.
Good. Yeah, oh yeah, of course he's trained.
He put 2 in her chest and 1 in her heart, or 1 in the side of her head. The side of her head moving the fastest. I'm telling you, man, in my opinion, if you look at all of the evidence, it's clear that both of these encounters were self-defense.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. But just so you know, we have a tie in the music poll. But you will have to decide whether you want candy or life.
We have 11 votes. We're usually around 14. I guess some of the people from Rumble didn't migrate over.
There's only a couple of minutes left, so I don't think they're going to be voting.
Has anybody not voted? If you've not voted, please vote. Even if you don't break the tie, it might.
Yeah, I think
kick her death. Death, please.
Yes.
No, cake. Ah, said death first. And, I know Eddie pretty well.
Yeah. And yes.
Oh, somebody broke it.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you'll be bringing someone to life.
Yeah, I hit that button real quick as soon as I saw that.
I'll bet.
All right. The problem is now.
We have a cheater in our midst. The black man double voted.
Who?
The black man, Tia, double voted. He used his alt account.
I'm not going to give him any shit because at least I didn't have to.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, nigged.
Easy. This is not Frosted's channel. All right. So, of course, I am so busy talking about what we're talking about that I have nothing ready to get to end the show. But I still got 30 seconds. So let's see what I can do with 30 seconds. All right. I found the outro text and I found the song. Here we go. It's too loud.
Yes, it is.
The MP3 player, of course, is all the way in the back behind everything else. Here we go. And my outro is at the bottom of the screen. Thanks, fam, as always, for chatting with us tonight. If you can't wait for the next Wednesday show, remember, the Minions are live every evening except Thursday, with most shows starting at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 6 days a week. Host and start times are linked in the description down below. Don't forget about the Rumble pre-show. That stream will generally start about a half an hour before YouTube, and that's where all the fun starts. We will be back next Wednesday. I'm going to say that slower so it comes out properly. At 9 p.m. as usual. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night, guys.